It's true. That really happened one time. We're good? Yeah. So I'll do one for everybody. Everybody got good audio? Audio check, 1, 2. Y'all ever notice that 3 never gets any respect? 1, 2. So everybody's good, right? All right, thank y'all.
One more time, please.
Yeah. Audio check, 1, 2. Welcome to the Alamance County Sheriff's Office. Okay. Yeah, just stick it up there, Ronnie. Good to go.
We don't have all that nice room meeting like that.
This is very nice.
Hey, Jack, Chief?
Yes, sir.
Chief, hang on, we got just a couple more coming in. 1. Yeah. Oh, 2, they're here. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead if you will. Can you go ahead and start it now? Because we're gonna try to get started a couple minutes early. Everybody good with starting a few minutes early? I think this is everybody that's going to be here. Everybody good? Okay. Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Alamance County Sheriff's Office, where today you're going to learn about Operation Gentle Spring. Before we get started, I have passed out hard copies of the press release, but be assured that I will email those so that you'll have digital copies of everything that we're discussing here today, including photos of the subjects that were arrested. Before we get started, a few introductions to make. Sheriff Terry Johnson will take the lead in the first comments about today's press conference, but joining the sheriff today, Chief Deputy Jackie Fortner, Lieutenant Craig Stevens, and Investigator Taylor Robertson are here. From Randolph County, we're pleased to have Sheriff Greg Seabolt, along with Chief Deputy Andrea Azelton, Captain Justin Trogdon, and Sergeant Beck with us today. From the Davidson County Sheriff's Office, Sheriff Richie Simmons and Sergeant Chris Azelton. And from Forsyth County, Sheriff Bobby Kimbrough was unable to join us today, but standing in his place will be Major Lance Kuntz with us today. So again, if you have questions for either of these folks, they comprise a group known as Project Invictus, and you'll hear more about that. This is a consortium of a 4-county agreement between Alamance, Davidson, Forsyth, and Randolph County, and you'll hear more about this in just a minute. So without any further, let me introduce again Sheriff Terry Johnson. Sheriff.
First of all, I'd like to welcome the media here today. You know, some months ago, an idea was born by Sheriff Seabolt from Randolph County because we all were concerned about the human exploitations that were going on in North Carolina. And we're also concerned about our computers and our kids on internet crimes against children. Today, this is just one of the things that has come out of this effort with all these law enforcement agencies. A few months ago, the Alamance County Sheriff's Office received information from concerned citizens of suspicious activity that was going on at this particular residence, which is located at 1017 Street in North Carolina. Women lived there, but was never seen hardly coming outside. However, there was a tremendous amount of male traffic going into the residence, staying a short period of time, and then leaving. Through investigation and surveillance, there was probable cause established to conduct a search of this particular premises. Because it was probable cause for human exploitation, we gathered the information to get a search warrant. In October of 2023, this particular operation started, and it was concluded. Of course, it's not totally concluded now, but this particular phase of it was concluded on Tuesday, January 30th, 2024. When it came to an end, the following agencies in the Invictus project was part of the entire operation in shutting down this particular spa. It was known as the Gentle Springs or Spring Spa. A search warrant was served on this particular residence, at which time 2 individuals were arrested. We not only had the assistance of the agencies you see up here today, but we also, on that particular day, had the help from Liberty Police Department, Winston-Salem Police Department, and Mecklenburg County Police. We executed a search warrant there, also had arrest warrants for individuals that were in the place. As a result of the investigation that these agencies conducted, we made 2 arrests. These individuals were originally Asians from China. The result of this investigation so far takes us all the way to New York, all the way to California, and other places in the United States. 2 people were arrested. Johan Lee, an Asian female, date of birth 10/20/62. She was the boss in this particular house. She's been charged with felony promoting prostitution. She was technically the business owner, as you see here. She was arrested and is currently under a $50,000 secure bond. Wan Yang, Asian female, date of birth 11/8/63, is charged with solicitation to commit prostitution and prostitution. What you see here is just a small portion of what is actually going on from this investigation at this time. We are continuing to investigate. We feel there is a lot of places in our state, just like this particular dwelling here, and our investigation will be continuing the Invictus project with these gentlemen. If you're going to be a pervert to a child or human exploitation, we're coming after you. No questions asked. We're coming after you. And at this time, I would like to ask Sheriff Seabolt to step up, say a few words, and the rest of the sheriffs.
This is one example of why we started the Invictus project. As Sheriff Johnson said earlier, is happening everywhere, has no boundaries. And back in August, when we had our Operation Child Predator in Randolph County, we had collaborating agencies such as Alamance, Davidson, state and federal agencies helping us, and it shed a lot of light on just how big the problem is. And you know, my job is to protect our children in Randolph County, and as any other sheriff behind me is their job too. And we're gonna continue to do it. We're gonna hit it hard, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. You're gonna see a lot more information come out of these press conferences in reference to the Invictus project. Sheriff Simmons.
It's great to be with you. It's great to be a part of this Invictus project and the task force that we've set forth. We've done a lot of work individually, and now it's come to a point that we're bringing what we've learned together to make things a lot better. And when we put our heads together, when sheriffs get together, it's bad for whatever we're going after, I'm here to say. So I'm looking forward to it. It's a great thing. It's a great plan, and I'm so tickled that Davidson County is a part of this. You're going to see a lot of results come. We've seen a lot of results now, and we've just started, and it's just the tip of the iceberg. So thank y'all for allowing us to be a part of this.
Sheriff Kimbrough came to me with this several months ago, and it made me do some research, do some digging on my own. I've been in law enforcement for probably 20 years, and there's things that you don't realize that happen right under your nose. This is one of those things. This goes on every day. All you have to do is look at the internet, look at other states. That stuff happens here as well. We're excited to be a part of this task force. There's a synergy that happens when you bring groups and resources and things together, and I think what you're going to see from this task force in the future is going to astound you. Thank you.
Do we have any questions at this time? Yes, young lady.
I know it's still in the investigation stage, but can you say how many victims there were at this location in Burlington?
We know there was one there in our early investigation, but she got moved out. We don't know where she's gone, how she's gone, or whatever. But we know of another individual that was there that we wanted to deal with. Yes, young lady.
Do you know how long this business had been running?
I'll have to ask our investigators. I know how long we were made aware of it and jumped on it as far as investigation. 2021.
Out of the same location? Out of the same.
Yes, sir. See, and this is an example where the public needs to get involved. When they see things that don't make sense, they should report it to us. It's up to us to see if there's a crime being committed or whatever. So that's very important. We need the public's help in dealing with issues such as this in all these counties. Yes, sir.
Sheriff Johnson, what's the message to people who run these businesses, to the customers of these businesses? What's the message you want to get to them?
We want it to stop, or we coming after you. Simple as that. We don't need this type of crimes being committed in our counties.
So obviously we need people to reach out and give you anonymous tips if they see something and they need to say something. When it comes to situations like this, what if you do not get a tip? How do y'all go about investigating? Or do you have to wait for tips? I know that you go through patrols and stuff like that, but
We either have to hear it from someone in public that, something strange about that house, or sometimes we have what we call confidential sources of information that may have a friend that attended that house, or, like I say, community complaints. And, with the amount of crimes that are going on, and these particular individuals coming out of New York, from China, and places like that, we have to have the public's help.
Are they U.S. citizens? Are they U.S. citizens?
They are here. One of them's on I think a work visa, and one of them is
Lawful permanent resident.
legal permanent resident, the leader that we arrested, which is the first individual. Yes, sir.
Sheriff, none of the men frequenting this establishment were arrested?
No, sir. We have to catch them in the act or get a confession from them, or the girl. There was one in there that had no clothes on, but he said he was getting a foot rub. And nobody else would give him up.
Had you had any interaction with these two individuals before, or with them?
We have not. One had been charged with prostitution previously in another state. Yes.
I know that this was, all with Project Invictus. Can we kind of talk about y'all's involvement, like, across the Triad, everybody seems to be, involved with this. Can we kind of go into how y'all were able to step in and help out with this operation?
Well, I'll let him.
Well, first of all, we know in order to combat this problem, we're going to have resources from other sheriff's offices, from state and federal entities. And this is just a organized group that will concentrate and put this as a priority. And they will go to work each and every day with that as a priority instead of other cases. And that way we can concentrate on it and bring some of these perverts, to court and put them where they belong, jail. There's a lot happening in this area with the interstates, with the number of hotels that are up and down the interstate. And that's why, Forsyth County is involved, Davidson and Alamance, along with us, Randolph. Yes, ma'am.
Sheriff, as you continue to investigate this, could more charges be coming for these two individuals of human exploitation?
At this point, I would rather not go down that lane of traffic, because the investigation is ongoing, and probably you'll be back in here down the road, I hope.
So we know that one of them has a work visa. Are we expecting deportation?
At this point, that certainly will be left up to immigration officials. One of them did have 2 or 3 forms of ID, et cetera, from different states. And certainly we'll be looking at that. They're currently being held in Alamance County Jail. I'll be honest with you, myself and our investigator went and talked with the judge yesterday because the bond had been reduced, and this individual, if they get out, we won't see them again. And we're trying to get that her held until we can get a better grip on total picture of what's going on.
Sure. Which is the,
Ms. Johan Lee was the boss.
also, but is she the one who is also the non-resident? Which of the two is not a resident, not a U.S. citizen?
Lee's the local.
Lee,
Lee's the local resident.
she's the lawful resident.
And which is the one with the previous charge of prostitution?
June Wade.
And so she's the one from out of the country.
Any other questions? Please
Did they
ask.
give you a reason why they reduced her bond?
Well, because, of course, Mr. Johan Lee is charged with a felony, and because she was the boss. But, what was funny, in a way, was her passport was supposed to be turned in, and she told them her passport was in New York. We got a search warrant because we seen the passport at the house, went back and got the passport and other IDs at the house that she had, and went over and told the judge that the judge was lied to in the courtroom.
You mentioned a little bit ago, Sheriff Johnson, that, if somebody sees something suspicious, that you want them to say something to law enforcement about what they see, but are there particular suspicious things that the community should be on the lookout for?
Certainly when you've got a house with 2 or 3 women and they're very seldom seen outside, and every 30 minutes you see cars pulling in with men going into the house and after about an hour coming out. That certainly tells me 1 or 2 things. The women are dealing drugs, or there's probably some human exploitation going on there.
Sheriff Simmons, why is it so important for you, your office, to be part of this?
There's many forms of this going about. As you know, we've had young ladies taken for this purpose. We know that. It's when we come together, it brings much more. We can put more resources to it. We can bring our funds together as well. So that really helps us to get something done. But we're excited about it.
How does that work? Do some of your deputies come up here to help and some of their deputies will come down to you guys? How does that work?
We usually come together for such a project as this. We'll send our deputies up here to help, to be a part of this, and they can. I think one of the other sheriffs, I don't know which one said it, but it allows us to go on with other business but they can focus on the project at hand.
How long until the central location in Randolph, about how long are you looking at? And will there be deputies for each county station?
You know, as you see here today, we're working without a building. We're going to be in that building hopefully in April with all the equipment needed. But that is not going to slow us down any. We're still working hard together and, you know, bringing people to justice.
At that time, when the building is open, we have 2 officers from Alamance County that will be driving to Randolph County every day, working with the other agencies that are in the building with us in the Invictus project. And what is so good about that, you know, these perverts don't keep county lines, and by us working together, we can go after the people that are endangering our children.
How does this crime compare to others that this team has worked on, and how many cases has this team worked on?
I can't hear you.
How does this crime compare to previous cases that the team has worked on, and how many cases has this team worked on?
Well, we have not really, I mean, we're working together on cases, but we get a tip, a cyber tip or tip, we go to work on it. I don't know how many Randolph has had, or Davison has had, or Forsyth. I know we've had a few, and we follow those tips up. But when we all come together in the building down in Randolph County, we're all going to be working together on each other's tips, searches, collection of physical evidence, whatever. And we'll be able to put these people where they belong.
Is this one of the worst crimes that you've worked on together?
Is this one of the worst crimes? No, well, I've worked with these guys ever since I've been sheriff on different cases, maybe homicides or whatever, so I won't say this.
2023, when this started, is this one of the cases that's been the most...
This has ramifications of one of the biggest human exploitation cases that since we've come together, I think.
And this residence was not licensed in any way as a business, there was no.
No, sir.
What's gonna be the future for the business now?
Say that again.
What's going to be the future for the business? I meant like the building itself, like is it gonna be torn down or?
The future for them, the 2 that were arrested?
No. The actual
Oh, house, that, you know, everyone who owns a house probably get it back. I'll be honest with you. I want to check in to the ownership and how that come about before these people come in there. It concerns me. First of all, there's Alamance County. I wish it had been in Randolph or Davison, but it was Alamance County. Any other questions?
It all comes down to allocation of resources. This is similar to a drug task force. You put these people on these cases, and these cases are important. This is one of those cases where it preys on those that can't defend themselves. And if that doesn't bother you, it should. I'm looking forward to this getting up and rolling. You've heard the old adage, we're building the plane as we fly it. Well, this is a perfect example of that. We don't have our building ready yet, but we're out here getting results already. Thank you.
Let me finish up with one other thing too. I mean, you're gonna see many different cases come from this, many different types of cases. But the computer and what generates the ICAC cases come from the SBI to us. And then we go off of these tips. We're working these, we've all got our labs already, and we're already working together. We have been, I know one case we had where a young lady was taken from Davison. Well, they started in Alamance too, but with the computers the way they are, these sex crimes it's unreal. The avenues that the bad people have to get our kids, to get our women, to get all these people. We've got to come up with a better mousetrap, we might say, and that's what we've done. We've put together something that I think is going to go statewide. I really do. North Carolina's 8th in the country for human trafficking. The Triad is #1 in that 8th. So we've got to do something, and we decided to do something. We came together, and you're going to see a lot of good results come from it.
And I would like to thank my investigators that worked on it and the officers from the other agencies that worked on it. I feel like it has been successful, but we have just begun to move forward on these type of situations, and we're going to continue to. And I appreciate the media. Get the word out. Please, if you see something, say something. It will be up to us to find out, if there's a crime being committed there. It won't be your responsibility, it'll be ours to check out the information that you give us. And we appreciate you being here today very much. And I hope that some of these people that are thinking about committing these crimes will see this particular thing here and choose not to, because it's happening all over the state of North Carolina. And I want to thank these gentlemen for being here today and for working with the Alamance County Sheriff's Office in solving crimes against our children. Thank you very much.
Are y'all good for interviews? Are y'all good for interviews? Okay. All right, thank you so much, everybody. I just spoke with the sheriffs up here, and if you need a one-on-one interview with them, they're willing to do that if done within the next few minutes. Thank you all so much.
Come on, you were that. We thought you were going to get away with nothing.
Good to see you, Sheriff.
How you doing?
Good, how are you? Good.